Here we are. Hey, welcome to Full Pin Ready Warm Edition. Back again for another episode. Your host Jim here, joining me as usual.
Hey, dog.
I don't know whether to speed that up, slow that down. Anyway, Nate, we're
I
not
don't.
gonna miss. We're not gonna miss the intro this time.
Okay.
I'm not going on tangents. I'm not missing the intro. Um, so this is where we get together. We pull some headlines from the mainstream media, quote unquote, because it's really getting to be a joke media. And depending on whatever side you're on, it really doesn't matter what you're reading. But because it's such a joke, we know that you all don't spend your time reading it. So we're going to pretend we read it for you because we don't read it either because we don't have time either. But we're going to look at the headlines and make up the story based on what we think it is because we know that's what you do. We're probably not going to get as mad about it, although sometimes I can be triggered. I know Nate knows that, and he does like to push me sometimes. But we're going to tell it from our perspective because why, Nate?
Because we're just average veterans. We've been around the world and we know everything.
Yep. And the greatest thing about our perspective is,
It's never been fact checked.
booyah, that's because nobody fact checkers are watching us. Anyways, that's not a challenge. So why don't we get started unless you got something to add?
Let's do it.
Nope. All right. I guess we're going to go with it. So the first headline, Wall Street investors are buying up single family homes to take over the rental market.
Pretty smart. Pretty smart. I mean, the housing market's pretty stagnant now because, rates are so high and the housing prices haven't went down. So why not make them rentals?
Well, let's take this down conspiracy lane for a second, okay? Because I don't know if you remember, but back when COVID started and the rent moratoriums and all this stuff and all that, back when that started, this is what they were talking about. They were talking about the government trying to do this specifically in like New York City, forcing people out so that they can buy all the places because it's cheap. And then when people started to come back, they'd be renting at high prices. The government, they were talking, the conspiracy then was that the government was actually doing this on purpose. Now, what do you know about Wall Street investors? Their track history.
It's good. Squeaky clean.
Of course.
They don't do anything crooked. They don't do anything any insider trading. They don't know anything about what's going on. They're just trying to make investments on the housing market right now, Jim.
Right.
Come on.
And they have access to probably all of your money. So let's just say they decide to use your
Wow.
money to buy up all the real estate and then try to make that money back through other. I mean, these people like, dude, you cannot not think that these people are running a racket because they're smarter than us. They're better than us. They're more elite. I mean, this is madness to me. This is madness. And like, I'm a capitalist, so I get it. Like you said, this is smart. And that's what happens. So who put us in a recession? Well, the recession's coming whether they like it or not. But who put us here?
Trump. Oh, you don't watch the news?
Well, it depends if you're watching MSNBC or NBC or CNN, right? But so my point is the politicians, the rich people that got rich off of us using our money, put us in this inflation recession period, right? So now we can't afford this stuff, but they're rich, so they can start buying stuff up from all the desperate people who need money. And the cycle just continues. The rich get richer, the poor get poorer. And yet somehow they continue again to keep us fighting with each other over race and gender and transgender and all the other stupid social things we're all fighting with each other about while they keep getting rich off of our money. And it's just nonsense. It's nonsense.
Whoa!
But you get what I'm saying? I don't know, man. I don't know.
No, yeah, it's great. I think they allow it now, but it was like they allow you to use your rental history as credit now also. So like if you can afford $2,500 rent a month, why can't I use that as proof I can improve a $1,600 house a month or a
Sure.
mortgage?
Yeah, well, that's smart. I mean, but at the
Yeah.
end of the day, just like I told you about my experience when I lived out in Colorado, that was back when they legalized marijuana. And forget about the junkies that came in. The distributors came in after they did. And they started propping up these distribution centers to sell this marijuana. Well, they were making so much money because they were the only game in town. They were all new, but they had nowhere to put their money. because it couldn't put it in the bank because it still wasn't recognized federally. So that money wasn't, they weren't able to put their money in the banks. So they were buying up real estate. So, I mean, now granted, there's still a risk when you own and rent. There's still a risk. So don't get me wrong. It's not like people just having rental homes. It's oh, it's free money here and there. No, there's still a risk. In fact, I've heard plenty of stories of bad renters not paying their rent and you get screwed. But this really favors
Or destroying your house.
the rich. It favors the rich, man, and the rich just get richer. And you don't see the little guy being able to buy this. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, it's only Wall Street investors. That's it. All the people allowed to buy up single-family homes, right? Just the Wall Street investors, according to
Well,
this headline.
but if right, of course. But you know what was happening with the housing market, right? People were coming in with cash offers that you couldn't beat, so they were overpaying for the property. And I mean, it's a great investment if you're going to get rent for the rest of your life. You know what I mean? But who has the money to overpay? Because banks won't loan it.
Right. Yeah.
Banks won't loan you if you're asking for more than half. The average person won't. But rich people can come in, swoop this stuff up. But good thing they're too busy buying mansions because they can't afford both mansions.
Well, I think that last person would buy my house 2 years ago.
Seattle PD caught using AI to spy on officers.
No, I'm surprised. Seattle. Woo. Portland's next, right?
Well, yeah, it's so funny though too because like first of all, I'm not totally against this per se. Like, I mean, I don't know what spying on officers really means because if you're recording a professional doing his professional duty, I don't see a problem with that. Like that's why we put cameras on them now. Like I don't know why they would spy. So maybe if I read the article, I'd probably understand it, but sounds to me weird.
I bet you those cops in LaGrange, whatever that place was called, was spying on what's her name. They would have seen some good footage.
Yeah, but I mean, spy. Like I don't know, man. I probably should have read this article, but I don't think there's a problem monitoring your officers while they're on duty.
Well,
Now, if you're talking about off duty and
the
depending what you do with it.
It's the government watching their employees. It's basically that says government watching their employees.
Yeah, and I don't see a problem with that. I mean, many companies now are putting GPSs on their work trucks.
Oh, their vehicles probably have GPS on them already.
Yeah, I mean, so I don't see a problem with that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what this AI spying is. If it's off-duty stuff, if it's after work, or if they're using the information they're getting, like saying, "Oh, you're a Trump supporter, we got to fire this guy." Then I think it's a little corny and hokey. But at the end of the day, man, unless you're picking your nose, scratching your ass, you know what I mean? Who cares? You're on duty. You should be acting professional anyway.
Yeah. But like I said, Seattle, I'm surprised.
Yeah. No, well, people are. Did you see? I mean, I know they're off topic. I'm going off topic. But did you see that people were leaving? They're trying to actually get out of what's the one below? It's Portland, Oregon. They're trying all those towns and townships in Oregon.
Other counties are trying to
trying to annex with the
Idaho.
Yeah, they're actually throwing out plan like this is legitimate movement they're getting. I don't know if it'll ever go through because it's still probably a pipe dream that's got to get approved by Congress or something, and they'll probably say, "Oh hell no." But yeah, isn't that crazy?
Yeah, we ain't giving that state more voters,
right? Isn't it crazy though? But that's the people. That's people. These Democrats and all that. Oh, democracy. That's democracy. People are saying we don't want to be associated with this garbage. So.
Yeah, the way it is, I just say give 25 states to the Republicans, 25 states to Democrats. Choose where in that part of the country you want to live and move on.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot more challenge to that, but I do understand what you're saying. It's definitely a lot deeper than that, but I get it. I'm all for it, dude. No civil war. We don't want violence. It's stupid. But if we can separate peacefully, I'm all for it. I am all for it. Anyway, speaking about peaceful separations, Indianapolis Indians, let me say that again. Indianapolis Indians minor league baseball team refuses to change name despite backlash.
Who cares? Good for them.
Well, yeah, good for them. What do you think this backlash was? 3 blue-haired people? What?
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. I'm sure it wasn't Indians that were mad,
A couple transgenders
or no Chiefs were mad, or no Redskins were mad.
or Antifa wannabe rich kids.
They
I
get
mean,
they,
who
they give me the Indianapolis Guardians,
right? It just I
like
mean, like who
Cleveland did.
right? And don't you remember that even the Indians or whoever those people were that they named the team after came out and said, "Oh no, that was in honor of us." Like, hello, like you know what I mean? Like, what is
Wait,
wrong with you people?
waiting for the Chicago Blackhawks to change their name.
Yeah, well, there's going to be a lot more than that.
They can just go Hawks, right? Just Chicago
Yeah,
Hawks.
sure. That would work, right? But isn't that Atlanta's team? Atlanta. Oh, that's in
That's
basketball.
basketball though, so you're fine.
Yeah.
Or you can go
Yeah.
red. You can go Red Hawks instead of Black Hawks. I don't know what is Red Hawks something else too.
I don't know. Is Blackhawk one? I don't know. I didn't. I may assume.
Like Black Hawk, some type of Indian, Native
Well,
American.
wait a minute. But what if they got their name actually off of a black hawk?
Well, their mascot's not a Black Hawk.
Well, sure, but I'm saying the Indians might have got their name from a black hawk, and you could keep it and change the logo.
There you go. And
Yeah,
you're good
there
to
you
go.
go. But anyway, good on this team, man. I'm Indianapolis Indians. Good on you. I still call them the Washington Redskins over there. I don't really care what they call themselves
Oh,
because
you
I
know what?
already know
That's good. That's gonna go away. Doesn't matter what you. I'll always call them the Redskins. How many people call them the Washington Bullets anymore?
Bullets. Who's the
Yeah,
Bullets?
exactly. They're the Washington Wizards. Exactly. They had to change their name because Bullets was bad and derogatory and blah blah blah. So
Oh
they
no no
wouldn't.
no no no! Hold on! You're saying exactly because this proves a point. I don't even watch the sport, so I don't. I didn't even know it existed. So I don't know what they were called before or now.
Oh, so that's what I'm telling you. They used to be the Washington Bullets. Now they're with the Wizards, and all the Bullets go, no, they'll always be the Bullets.
Yeah, well,
No,
eventually, yeah,
no
eventually
one.
people get
Yeah,
used to it. It'll fade away for
exactly.
sure, right? Of
Yeah,
course. But I could care less. I'll call them whatever I want to call them because you know what? Maybe there's a fluid. There's a name fluid spectrum.
and
You know what I mean? They could.
I'm offended by that sorry ass team, New Jersey Devils. That Devils is very derogatory to those God believers.
And I'm glad you're offended. You know, actually, you laugh at that, but what's her name? Whitner, Christy Whitten, not Whitten. Was it Whit? I don't know. One of those New Jersey governors did try to change the name,
I'm sure
and
they did.
I don't think she was a Christian. So maybe she just didn't like. I don't know. But yeah, I do wonder about that too. Like the Devils, and whatever. But that's named after a fictional. Well, I don't know. They say it was real. You know the origin of the Jersey Devil. Of course you do. You studied it. Anyways, we'll get off of this so you got time to go study. Unless you got something you want to add, Nate.
No, I'm gonna go find out what this New Jersey Devil thing is.
Because I'm gonna tell you what. Because I don't know what a flyer is, but
Me either.
just last week,
I'm a Penguins fan, and I know what a penguin is.
well, we've been beating the Penguins too, but just last week I think we stumped the Flyers like 7-0. It was like last week sometime. I can't
Gritty,
keep track. Yeah,
Gritty's a Flyer.
Gritty's stupid. I
I
don't know
don't.
why everybody loves him.
I don't know what the hell a Gritty is either.
I don't know. It's stupid, man. And it's some guy who sexually harasses and just harasses people, and everybody laughs like it's funny.
That's
He
Trump.
fits it.
That's
He
Trump.
fits in perfectly, right? He fits in perfectly with the Philadelphia style because they're
All,
just bullies and whatever.
all those South Jerseyans, I know.
They're not South Jersey. They live in South Jersey. They're all Philadelphia trash. Anyways, enough of that stuff. We're gonna pull the plug on this one because
Pull the
need to
pin.
clean.
Pull the
We
pin.
need to
That's the
clean
plug.
this one up. Yeah, remember, there's a shout out to you, Mike. Mike, if you're watching, I'm sure you are. I do miss the days when he used to say pull the pin, pull the plug all the time. I was like, you did it again. Anyways, thank you all for tuning in, Nate. Thank you for being here. Thank you, other veterans who are reaching out to get involved and get on the show. Sorry, I haven't gotten back to you yet because I haven't received your email. But
Until then,
until then, Godspeed.
and pull the pin ready. Boom.
Thanks for joining us here at Pull the Pin Already. We hope you had as much fun as we did. If you like what we do, go ahead and hit that like button and share this video with a friend. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell button so you don't miss out on any of our future episodes. But most importantly, leave a comment below. Let us know if you agree or disagree with our opinions. Hope to see you here next time on Pull the Pin Already.